Welcome back to the Old Soul Millennial channel. In today's video, I'm going to provide a test and review of this Ortho WeedClear Concentrate Yellow Label. We'll see how well this works. Now, before we get started here, I want to mention that this is a non-sponsored video, so this is a completely unbiased review. Now, I have a weed problem in the front yard. Mostly, I have an issue with chickweed. There's a little bit of dandelion and also some kind of like wild strawberry plants, which I'll take you outside here shortly and show you them. But chickweed is my biggest issue. Now, in the past, I've treated my lawn with this Ortho WeedClear orange label bottle. However, it seems to work 50% of the time, but I think part of that is because I also have not used a surfactant in the past. Now, what is the difference between the orange label and the yellow label WeedClear bottles? Well, the orange label says fast acting and the yellow label says results in hours. So what's the deal here? Well, if you look at the label of the orange label bottle, it says the concentration of 2,4-D is 6.42%, as where the concentration of 2,4-D in the yellow bottle is higher. It's 8.658%. So this is a stronger concentrated product. Now, what is the purpose of surfactant and why haven't I used it in the past? Well, this is a learning process for me. I'm learning as I go along here. Now, the purpose of adding surfactant to your weed control agent is it helps to allow this chemical to absorb into the foliage of those leaves. So I feel like this is a really important step that I've missed in the past. So before you apply this, a few things. For one, you want to ensure that your grass is damp or wet. We had a very heavy rainfall last night, so everything outside is good and damp. If you live in very dry conditions and you don't get rain that often, the instructions say that you can wet your yard with a garden hose, but also you want to ensure that you're not going to get rain for 24 hours after. Additionally, you want to ensure that temperatures are below 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and after you apply this product, the instructions state that you need to let this product dry prior to allowing small animals, and children, and probably people in general from walking across your yard. So let's talk about application rates. So according to the instructions, the application rate specifies that we should add 2 ounces of concentrate to 1 gallon of water, and that 1 gallon mixture should treat 500 square feet. Now, I have a homemade sprayer that I attach to the back of my Craftsman LT2000 lawnmower. Now, I've calibrated that sprayer, and I know when I have my machine in second gear, that machine will spray 1 gallon over 500 square feet. So I'd encourage you to do a calibration run of your sprayer to ensure that you're applying this product appropriately. And the way I did it, my driveway is about 16 feet wide, and that's about how wide my sprayer sprays. So if you do the calculation, 500 divided by 16, I think you get 36 feet. So I just matched the gearing and engine RPMs on my machine as to where when I went down that 500 square foot area, 36 feet down the driveway, it applied 1 gallon. So I had my machine calibrated. Aside from that, the surfactant, I calculated, roughly you want to put 1 ounce to 5 gallons. This is 16 ounces. This stuff's pretty expensive. I think it's like $14 for this. This is around $40 now. So, between the two of these, if you're doing a large yard, expect to pay $55. But I still figure it's cheaper than hiring somebody to come out and do this professionally, and God knows what they're using. So anyway, with those mixture amounts, I have a 5-gallon pail on the back of my mower. So we're going to add 10 ounces of this concentrate to that 5-gallon bucket. And then I'm also going to add 1 ounce of this surfactant to that 5-gallon bucket. So let's get mixing, and then we'll get spraying and check back in, I don't know, a few hours, maybe tomorrow, see what everything looks like. And also I'll take you outside, show you where I flagged a few weeds. So yes, I have a few bare spots I need to fill in here, and yes, the best way to prevent weeds is to have a full and healthy lawn, so I do need to work on that. But the biggest weed issue I have on my property is chickweed. And I mean, you can see it all mixed in the grass right here, but I have it flagged out right here. This is a nice healthy patch of chickweed. So this is weed number 1 we're going to pay attention to. Weed number 2, we have a dandelion. Just want to show you the condition of it right now. It's somewhat healthy. There's a little browning on the leaves, but still a lot of green there. So we'll see what this product does. And here you can see we have mock strawberries. They have some yellow flowers, but you can see this is quite healthy. All right, that's 10 ounces of WeedClear. Now let's add 1 ounce. Add our concentrate to this 5-gallon bucket on the back of my homemade sprayer. There's just water in the bottom of the bucket, by the way. And we will fill this up with complete 5 gallons of water. Now, a few guys online have suggested that you mix this up real good too, so I just have a basic paint mixer. Mix this up a little bit. All right, pour this up. So it's been 24 hours since application, and you can visually see that some of the chickweed is in fact starting to die off, where we have this flagged section of chickweed. You can see that the top portion is starting to turn a little yellow. However, deep down it's still pretty green down there. So I think we'll just have to give this product a little time to work and see if it does kill off all this chickweed in one application. And there's a pretty healthy patch here, so let's go check out the dandelion next. You tell me, I don't think it's really made a dent on the dandelion. Here's a patch of chickweed I didn't film the other day, but on this patch of chickweed, it's doing a phenomenal job of taking care of that issue. All right, we're over at the mock strawberry patch, and it definitely did some damage here. You could see some browning to the leaves. As for the flowers, looks like they're starting to wilt and die off. So we will just have to give this a little bit more time and see what happens here. However, I'd also like to turn your attention to just the right of that mock strawberry patch. Now, I didn't flag this area out, but take a look at this patch right here. This is corn speedwell, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't see this the other day, but this patch looks incredibly healthy, and it looks like after 24 hours didn't do any damage to this whatsoever. So it's been 1 week since I applied this product, and first let's start on the chickweed. So I can see several brown patches where it's done a decent job at killing off the chickweed. This is the one we have marked out. So it does look like we are going to need to apply a second application. Like this patch right here, you could see killed a lot of it off. But if we go over here to the left, see a couple spots that still have some pretty good life left in them. Like this guy right here. So pretty good job. But again, you are probably going to have to spot hit with a handheld sprayer, or you could spray over the whole lawn again. Up to you, but that's not terrible for one application. Now let's take a look at the one dandelion we have marked out here. It looks like it's definitely done some damage to it. There is still some green in here. This definitely doesn't look as healthy as when we first applied it. So for the dandelion to fully kill it off, it may take another application, but probably what I'd do here, I'd probably wait another week and see what happens, because it's definitely done some damage. Moving on to the mock strawberry and corn speedwell. So this is the mock strawberry, and similar to what we saw with the chickweed, it's done a pretty darn good job at killing this patch off. A little bit of green here, but again, I'd probably give this another week to see what it does. May need a second spot application, but I'm very happy with the results for the mock strawberries here. Now, if we take a look at the corn speedwell, after a week, I noticed that it is starting to do some damage. But again, we still have some really healthy areas in the patch here. So for the corn speedwell, I'd say it's definitely going to require another application, especially with maybe a hand sprayer. That way you could apply the product a little bit more liberally and thus have it be a bit more effective. Today would actually be a great day because it rained a little bit last night. Grass is somewhat wet, so that's the time that you want to apply this stuff. So anyway, I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will catch you on the next one.